Nail by Ian Jones and Andy Edwards. Episode 4, Death and Marriage. This episode is dedicated to my Aunty Mags, whose storytelling of generations past has enriched my life. Wednesday, April the 27th, 1938. Nail is feeling positive about having told Claude that they are half-brothers. He's agreed to head into town on the bus with Howard Deaf to find out if Howard is still married. Slept well last night, aye. That was a heavy weight to carry round for the last 18 months. I hope Claude is okay. Seemed fine after I told him. Probably answered a lot of questions for him. You know, closure. I'm heading into town with Howard this morning. He's going to the registry office to find out if he's still married or not. The early bus is usually packed, but it's only half full today. Or as Ernie says, bloody half, bloody empty. Hardly worth me going. Late bus might be full now, Ernie, I say. Doubt it, he grumbles. Still 10 minutes before we go anyway, Ernie. Waste of bloody time. God, he's a misery when the bus isn't packed on a Wednesday. Uncle Jacob could be miserable at times, mind. It's not a matter of whether the glass is half full or half empty, he said to me once. The reason I'm miserable is because that's not my glass. My glass was full. Oh, God. I do miss him. Howard hasn't arrived yet, late as ever, but I've managed to save him a seat anyway. The bus is all women except me, all going to the market. The twins are sitting together in full bloom. Pregnancy suits them. Are you going drinking all day, Mr. Ackerman? Asks Lily. Our father says you could drink for Wales. And they both laugh out loud. I consider an answer, but I'm drowned out by their giggles. I hear you and Margaret are coming to the vicarage with Edna and Howard tomorrow, Mr. Ackerman, says Mrs. Penderyn James. 6:30 okay for you? Looking forward to it, Mrs. James, I say. I'm not, mind. Don't be late now, she warns. I loathe tardiness, very rude. It's Howard should be telling, not me. Oh, of course not, Mrs. James, of course not. 6:30 sharp. Lulu King is sitting across from me. She catches me staring at her. What are you looking at, Nail? She says. Oh, nothing, I say, and shake myself out of my stare. She can be a feisty one when she wants to, mind. I wonder who's doing Bryn's veg round today, eh? Perhaps he'll do it himself, I suppose. It's very rude to stare, she scolds. Yeah, sorry, I say. Oh, where the hell is Howard? I'm getting pecked to bits, yeah? You never thanked me for those socks I knitted you, says Helen John. Sorry, Helen, I forgot. Thank you very much, though. Won't be knitting for you again, she says crossly. I smile. She will. Can't help herself, man. She's knitting now. Look at her. Mrs. Briggs is sitting on her own, scowling at me. Ugh. Briggs probably told her I'd had a go at him in the calf. If she knew the truth. She wouldn't be so quick then, would she? Not with her judgments. Maria Wells from Pentremyrig Farm is sitting behind me. She got 4 dead chickens tied up in a bucket. Brian's forgotten the birds, she says loudly. Right, I say, and turn around. Men, but as much use as a knitted fireguard. The entire bus looks in my direction and laughs. Oh, come on, Howard. Please, they're eating me alive, man. On comes Edna Priest. She goes straight for me. Don't you be making Margaret late tomorrow, Hobart Ackerman. I can't bear lateness. And you're marrying Howard deaf, I say. I look around for a sign of approval for my sharp wit from the other women, but I don't get it. What's that supposed to mean, says Edna. Oh, nothing, I say. Where is Howard anyway? I ask, politely like. Not come in, she says. Go into something or somewhere with someone. Very helpful, I say to her. Still, no approval from the other passengers. They all look at me daggers. This is woman power, and I am being crushed. I don't want him spending a day on the booze with an old soak like you anyway. And you get home tidy on Friday or I'll throttle you. Have I done something wrong here, I wonder to myself. Ernie rings the bell. All aboard! Hold on, Ernie, I say. I'm getting off. And I pick up my coat and walk to the steps. Good riddance to bad rubbish, says Mrs. Briggs, and the women screech with approving laughter as the doors close behind me. What the hell just happened to me, I think, as I stand in the square and watch the bus pull away. I feel like I've been beaten up. Neil, shouts Howard as he appears through the alley from the horse field. Where the hell have you been, Howard? I was waiting on the bus for you. It was like the Spanish Inquisition on there. What's that then? Says Howard. Never mind, I say. I'm all right now, I'm safe. I thought you said you meet me at your place. Edna was on the bus though, wasn't she? He's anxious, he is. She was, I say. Had a right pop at me about tomorrow. Why do you ask? I don't want her getting crossing me again. Why would she be cross, Howard? I told her I'm going to see Dr. Claude about my guts, and she went mad, man. I've made you a tonic, she said. What does a doctor know that I don't know? Nothing. That's what he knows, nothing. He's just a fat old quack. You got no respect for me, Howard Deaf. Do you hear me? No respect at all. 30 years I've been mixing the medicine. 30 years. I had to lie to her this morning, says Howard. Told her I'm going to see Mr. Briggs about getting my shoes resold for Saturday. But I'm really off to Dr. Claude's to see what he thinks. She even got upset when Mog pulled my tooth. Don't know what's wrong with him, and half the time. At least that stopped hurting now. She's probably just nervous like you, Howard, I say. Come on, I'll come with you to see Dr. Claude. We sit in the waiting room on the bench and wait for the doctor to call Howard in. In comes Caio. Hiya, boys. Are you well? What you doing here? Well, yes, good, thanks, says Howard. You? Oh, great, thanks, says Caio. Never better. It's a blooming strange conversation for two blokes sitting in a doctor's surgery, I think to myself. But I don't say anything. In you shuffle, Howard, says Dr. Claude. No, the doctor's a lump, innit, says Caio. Got a problem with his digestive system, apparently, Margaret says. Aye, says Caio. Can't stop eating. We've barely stopped laughing when Howard and Dr. Claude reappear. In you shuffle, Caio, says Dr. Claude. That was quick, Howard, I say, as we walk outside. Aye, says Howard. Prescribed kaolin and morphine. I got to go and pick it up now today in town. Told me to stop taking Edna's tonic and only drink water till Friday. Got to go back then, and if I'm not sorted by Friday afternoon, he'll give me an injection. Don't like the sound of that, Howard. I don't like needles. Nor me, Neil. Nor me. We'll catch the late bus then, shall we, I say? Get the prescription and go to the registry office. Let's go to Conti's for a coffee and a water, is it? And wait for the bus. I quite fancy a pasty, I say. Oh, don't be nasty, Neil, says Howard. Sergio is all out of pasties as it happens, so I have to settle for a ham sandwich and a boiled egg. Tasty enough, mind. The time passes quickly as we discuss the stag do and the wedding plans, and soon enough Ernie's bus trundles back into the square. He parks up and comes into the cafe. "Pasty, please, Sergio," says Ernie. I smile to myself. He's gonna be disappointed, I say to Howard. To my disbelief, a hot pasty appears on a plate and is presented to Ernie. "Hey, yeah, you said you were out of pasties. I have a go at Sergio. Mr. Evans gets me to put one by every Wednesday." "Sorry, Neil," says Sergio. "Charming," I say. "The early bird," says Ernie, "the early bird," and he smiles to himself as he devours his savoury treat. "Don't you worry, Neil," says Howard. "Edna's making pasties for Saturday, boy. You'll have one then." "Ooh, thanks, Howard." Ernie finishes his late breakfast and we all walk to the bus. There's a good few aboard. "There you are, Ernie," I say. "Half full already. Half bloody empty," he mutters to himself. We leave around 10:15. Ernie has fended off the pleas to get going for as long as he can bear and grudgingly pulls out of the village. "Late again," says Howard. "Can't stand lateness." I look at him in total disbelief. Can't stand lateness? A couple of stops on the way and a handful more passengers. That should cheer him up a bit, Howard says. I doubt it, I say. We go straight to the chemist where we get to town, and Howard collects his kaolin and morphine. "Can you wash this bottle out and put it in there?" says Howard to the chemist. The chemist agrees. "Why are you doing that?" I ask Howard. "So she doesn't know I've stopped taking the tonic," he replies. "Easier to lie to women sometimes, Neil." I don't answer. "Right," says Howard. "This is it. Wish me luck, Neil." He takes a heavy slug of the medicine out of the bottle. I pat him on the shoulder as he walks through the doors of the registry office. "I'll wait in the printers for you, Howard," I say as he enters. I haven't seen Richie in ages. I go straight to the pub to see my old pal. He's a veteran of Gallipoli and lost his brother in Mons. The pub is busy. There's a horse fair in Church Street, but Richie's not working. He's sitting on a stool with a whiskey at the corner of the bar, while his lovely wife, Sal, is running the show from behind it. "Neil, my old friend," he says, and stands to shake my hand. "Whiskey for Neil, Sal," he orders. "Coming up, my sweetheart," she replies warmly. "Lovely to see you, Neil. Oh, how are you, Bach?" she asks. "Very well, Sal, thanks for asking. You got yourself a good woman yet?" Not really, I say. "Well, when this one falls off his perch, you look me up," she says, and laughs, hands me my whiskey and leans over to kiss Richie on the mouth. Then she touches his face gently and smiles lovingly at him. I sip my whiskey. "This horse fair won't end well," says Richie. "Never does when the paddies are in town. I'm closing at 3 and won't bother opening up tonight." There are about 100 Irish gypsies in the town for the horse fair. "They were bare-knuckle fighting in the Guildhall Square last night," says Richie. "Organised the fights, you know, all drinking poteen and gambling and singing. And well, where are they staying then?" I ask. "Oh, on a field at the top of Nantic House," Richie replies. "Had their caravans there since Monday night. They came down from Llandilo on Saturday and stopped at Golden Grove till Sunday. Apparently, they threw dynamite into the river and killed hundreds of fish. They've been selling the fish on the market this morning. And PC Edwards tried to get them to move on, but they just set up again. Don't care, see? Beyond the law they are." With that, there's a yell from the doorway of the pub and the sound of glasses smashing. A young gypsy boy has ridden his horse at one of the drinkers who called him a thick paddy, and the horse has got stuck in the door frame. Richie runs through the bar. "Mas o'r ffordd," he shouts, "out of my way." The horse bucks and the rider is thrown onto the cobbles. "Don't panic," says Richie, and then to everyone's amazement, he punches the horse full out on the muzzle. The horse lets out an almighty whinny and backs out of the pub, throwing up his hind legs in panic. Once free of the doorframe, it turns and careers down the street, bucking and kicking. The gypsy boy runs after it as the terrified horse crashes into stalls and shopfront displays as it makes its bid for freedom. "Oh," says Sal, "my hero," and blows him a kiss. "That's it," says Richie. "Pub's shut. Drink up and out," he shouts. "I've had enough." He puts his hand on my shoulder. "Not you, boyo. Enjoy your whiskey and I'll get you another when I'm shut." Within 10 minutes the pub is empty and the door is closed. "Same every time they come here," says Rich. "Takings are good, but it's a load of bother that I can do without. What brings you to town then, Neil? Bit of business, is it?" "No, to be honest, I'm just keeping our deaf company. He's got something to sort out in the registry office and he asked me to come in with him. He'll be here now in a minute." "Yes, see," says Richie. "I haven't seen Howard in years." We sit and chew the cud over another couple of shots until Howard arrives. He is beaming from year to year when he walks in. "Good news, and Howard?" I ask him. "Marvellous news," he replies. "Marvellous news. She's dead." "Oh my God," says Sal. "Who's dead?" "My wife," says Howard. "She's dead." "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that," says Richie. "I can get married, Neil. I can get married on Saturday." "Blimey," says Richie. He moves fast. Sal passes Howard a large shot of whiskey. "A toast," says Howard, and raises his glass. "To death and marriage," he says. "Death and marriage," we all reply.